I had very little athletic talent. When I say it fit me, it meant that even though I was terrible, I still loved it anyway. I still loved spending as much of my time as I possibly could being on the basketball court, even though I was terrible. I felt very lucky that I was passionate about something, even though I was bad at it. Even when I turned into a teenager and I actually started studying the game for the very first time, understanding just the fundamentals of the game and understanding that I actually could get better as a player, I still knew at that point, even though I got a little bit better, that professional basketball, being a professional basketball player one day in whatever capacity, getting paid to play basketball was just never in the cards for me. I'm 5'8", 140. I'm never going to be a professional basketball player. So since I'm never going to go pro, I didn't have any ambitions to do so. And if I'm not going to be pro at it, then to me, the way I looked at it was like, why go down the path of playing organized? Like, why try to play AAU or high school when, like, I'm not going to end up being a pro anyway? So why restrict myself to only playing or even trying to make an AAU or a high school team? I just wasn't interested in it. And you can say, well, you weren't interested in it because you knew you weren't good enough. Okay, so what? If I was not good enough, like, the only thing that mattered to me was being out here. I didn't care if it was by myself. I didn't care if it was at the park. I didn't care if it was at the YMCA or trying to run anywhere with whoever, whether they were also recreational players or they were actual organized players and I was trying to fit in with them. I didn't care. I just wanted to be out here because that's how much it meant to me. Out here because that's how much it meant to me. But I had no care about trying to go down the organized basketball route because there was no pot of gold at the end of it for me. So instead, I made the conscious decision as a teenager to try to be the best basketball player I could be, even though it would only ever be recreational. So as a kid and a teenager, when it came to basketball, one of the few things in life that actually fit me where, like, when I was doing anything basketball related, whatever it was, studying, practicing, whatever, I just felt like at home doing basketball stuff. And most of my life, I didn't feel that way doing anything else except for basketball. I wasn't good, but just because I wasn't good didn't mean it didn't fit me and it didn't feel like home. I don't know how else to describe it other than, like, I just felt I belonged. I didn't have to be good to feel like I belonged. I just felt like I belonged anytime I was doing anything basketball related. So as a kid and a teenager, basketball was like a burning passion of mine, especially as a teenager when I was actually trying to get better and I was actually studying and trying to learn the game and see what my basketball potential was. I had accepted that it was only ever going to be recreational, but I still had like a burning passion just to see, even though that being the ceiling, how good I could get. And I loved it. It was very important to me. But even more so when I got into my 20s, because as happens with a lot of young men who are in their early 20s, trying to figure out, like, okay, the transition from being a teenage kid to now going into adulthood for the very first time. And I was doing that on my own. So when I found myself in this dark time in my life, I found refuge in one of the few things that I really had a passion for and brought me joy, and that was basketball. I threw myself into basketball more so and in ways that I had never done before because, like I said, as a kid and a teenager, it was about fun. It was a fun, passionate thing that I did all the time. So for this guy to say that pickup basketball, recreational basketball, is not real basketball and that you shouldn't take it that seriously, I have this deadly opposition towards. It might just be rage bait. It might just be something he's saying to be divisive and inflammatory so people will watch and comment and engage with his video. That's very possibly true, but because this is so deeply personal to me, I feel compelled to comment on it when it's so important to who I have been as a person.